Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to OCM lecture for Standard 12 Commerce for the chapter number 4 Business Services. We have already started this chapter and have covered three main topics, that is warehousing, transportation and communication, and we are on the fourth main topic of this chapter, that is insurance. And we have already studied about what do you mean by insurance, what are the various principles of insurance, why what are the various parties to insurance, what are the various important terms that are required to be considered while taking insurance. All these things we have studied in the previous lecture. In today's lecture we'll be studying about one of the type of insurance. Okay, and then just to give you a quick recap, what do you mean by insurance? Insurance is a means of protection from financial loss. As we all know that business is surrounded by risk and business is always covered by risk, and we also know that risk is inevitable. You cannot stop or you cannot always protect yourself from business risk. All you can do is minimize the risk or minimize the effect of risk on your business. So insurance is one such key factor which helps a businessman to minimize the risk. That is, if the businessman insures his goods and his products and his properties, if in case of uncertainties there has been a loss, that loss can be recovered or that loss can be minimized with the help of the insurance policy that we have already taken. It is usually used for risk management, and what is it is a what is it it is a contract between two parties. One is the person who takes the insurance and the other one is the company that gives insurance, that is insurer and insured, whereby both the parties get into an agreement and the insurer agrees to compensate the insured against the loss, but the insured also have to make timely payment, that is called as premium. Okay, so that is what insurance is all about, and we are going to study about three main types of insurance in this chapter, that is life insurance, marine insurance and fire insurance. Life insurance, it is a contract between insurer and insured, whereby the insurer agrees to compensate the insured a certain amount on the expiry of certain period or on death. Life, we all know what is life. We are human beings, we take our own life insurance. That means in case if there is an occurrence of our death, our family member will not have to move here and there for their survival. That means during the lifetime, I am investing certain money into the insurance company, so that in case of my death, the insurance company gives that money back to my family, which will help them to start up their livelihoods. Okay, it is an agreement wherein which completes only on the occurrence of death. Life insurance completes only on the occurrence of death or on maturity, whichever is earlier, for a consideration. Second type of insurance that is used in a business is marine insurance. Marine insurance, as we all know that import and export is an important part of business, and that is the only thing which has flourished industrialization and world trade. World trade has been possible because of import and export, and importing and exporting goods to far away countries is only possible with the help of water transport, and that requires marine insurance. The insurance that is taken against the dangers of the sea, against the perils of the sea, it is called as marine insurance. It is a contract that covers loss or damage to the vessel or to the cargo or the passengers during the marine transportation. Okay, like for example, if I am exporting goods to America, I will export that good through water transport because that is the cheapest mode of transport. Also one of very suitable mode of transport for transporting heavy and bulky goods and huge quantity goods. So I'll go for my transportation, water transportation. And when I am loading my goods on the ship or the cargo, I have certain risk. What if the ship sinks? What if the pirates covers or take away my goods from the ship? What if the rats and rodents spoil my shipment? So I take marine insurance against the perils of the sea and other factors. So if there is any damage to my product during the shipment, I will get my loss recovered from the marine insurance company. Okay, the third is fire insurance. A fire insurance is a contract or an agreement whereby the insurer, in return for consideration, undertakes to indemnify the insured against the loss to property due to fire. Indemnify, we have already studied what do you mean by indemnity in the principles of insurance. Indemnity means to get back to the position where you were before occurrence of loss. That means in case if fire occurred at your house, at your warehouse, at your place of storing goods, the amount of the loss that you have suffered, the insurance company will indemnify you that amount and will bring you back to the same position where you were before the occurrence of fire. So basically fire insurance is an insurance taken to safeguard your goods against the dangers of fire. It is very obvious and very common. Fire takes place at certain places due to short circuits or carelessness of the caretakers or any other certain things. We cannot stop it, it is uncertain, but we can minimize the risk by taking fire insurance. Okay, so today we are going to study one of these insurance, that is marine insurance, and what are the various types of marine insurance. Basically marine insurance, I have already explained you that marine insurance is an insurance which is taken against the perils of the sea, against the dangers of the sea, in order to provide protection to your goods which have been exported or imported across the boundaries of the country. The very first type of marine insurance policy is voyage policy. It is a policy in which the subject matter is insured for a specific voyage. Okay, I would like you all to write certain examples in these types of marine insurance policies which are not mentioned in your textbooks. So pick up a pen and write down these examples. First of all, what is a voyage policy? Voyage, what do you mean by voyage? Voyage is a journey from point A to point B. When you are shipping your goods from Mumbai to New York, when the journey is completed, we say one voyage is completed. Goods have been transported from Mumbai to New York. One specific voyage is completed. So voyage policy is basically a policy for one specific journey, one specific voyage, irrespective of time. It may take 10 days, 20 days, 40 days, or 6 months to transfer goods from Mumbai to New York. That doesn't matter. But until and unless the goods are overseas, and until and unless the goods have reached New York, your policy is active. Once the good reaches New York, then your policy ends over there. So you can write an example in this as for example, voyage policy, for example, from Mumbai to New York. That's it. From Mumbai to Japan. That's it. Any example you can give. That voyage means from one point to another point. Second, time policy. Now I have mentioned in voyage policy that time doesn't matter, whether it takes 40 days or 6 months or 1 year, that doesn't matter. But in case of time policy, time matters. Whether the ship is completing its voyage or not, that is not a concern. If the ship is in the middle of the sea but your time period have been completed, then your policy ends over there only. Like for example, from Mumbai, if your goods have departed and you are expecting that the goods will reach to New York in 40 days, but due to certain weather conditions, due to floods or any other natural calamities, the ship is taking longer to reach New York. So now the ship took 60 days to reach New York. And when the ship reached New York, the goods were damaged due to weather. So now the insurance company will inquire whether the goods were damaged within 40 days or after 40 days. If the goods were damaged within 40 days, you will get your insurance cover. But if the goods were damaged after 40 days, you will not get any amount from the insurance company. Why? Because you took the policy for 40 days only. Do you get it? So in this you can write example like under time policy, goods secured for 6 months, goods secured for 40 days. Okay, what is there is one more thing in this. There is a continuation clause which is not there in voyage policy. Continuation clause means if you get an intimation that your ship is going to take longer to reach New York, so you immediately call up your insurance company and you increase the time period of your insurance. You undertake the continuation clause and then cover your goods for another 20 days. So if now you have taken continuation clause and the goods are damaged during the voyage, and the insurance company analyzes, they will have to give you compensation. Why? Because you have increased the time period of your policy. Do you get it? The third type of insurance policy is mixed policy. Mixed, you understand what is mixed? Combination of certain things. So mixed policy is basically combination of time policy and voyage policy. Here the time is also mentioned and the voyage is also mentioned. For example, write it down. From goods transported from Mumbai to New York for 60 days. It covers the risk of both the voyage and the time. Like for example, if the ship is taking 40 days, time policy is covered. If the ship is not taking 40 days, ship is taking 60 days, so you have another policy in hand, that is voyage policy. So understand, if you have taken a mixed policy for transporting your goods from Mumbai to New York, and it also have a time clause, that is 40 days. If the goods are damaged within 40 days, you will get your compensation. If the shipment takes more than 40 days, okay, and you have not taken continuation clause, but the voyage has not been completed, when the voyage is completed, then and then only the insurance ends. That means if after 40 days also if the goods are damaged, you will get the compensation, because you have taken a mixed policy of voyage and time both. Even after the completion of time period, the voyage policy still existed, and then you will be getting your insurance cover. Then third policy is valued policy. Under this policy, goods are insured for an agreed value between the insurer and insured at the time of taking policy. This is easy. This facilitates easy settlement of claims in case of such items where it is difficult to assess the real market value. True, there are certain goods which changes its value when you are doing the shipment. The value of that product was less, but it took 40 days, it took 6 months for that good to reach to the another country, and by that time the demand for that product has increased and the value of that goods have been increased. So you are not certain, you do not know what is the actual value of the good. Okay, and also another example would be if there are certain products which cannot be valued, so these for these products you have to take valued policy. I would like you to mention one thing in here, that valued policy is, write down, valued policy is taken for the entire amount of the goods plus freight and shipping charges along with 10 to 15% profit. Why? Because the goods that you have exported, for example, if it is of 100 rupees, Then the shipping charges were 20 rupees. What is the value of the good? 120 rupees plus 10% profit. 120 into 10% is 12 rupees. So the total value of the goods is 132 rupees. So the valued policy will cover the risk of 132 rupees. In case of valued policy, the value of actual good is less than the insured goods. Understood? So basically valued policy is for a specific value plus profit. Okay, what is blanket policy? The policy is taken for maximum limit of the required amount of protection, and full amount of premiums is paid in the beginning of the policy. Maximum limit of the required amount of protection. Here the maximum limit is mentioned, like you just said in valued policy you fix the value that I want to take insurance of this value, and in case of loss I will be receiving this value. So here also under blanket policy also, when the goods have uncertain values, it fluctuates from less to more. Like I just said, after 6 months the value may change. So here the maximum amount is fixed. For example, if you have shipped a good of 5 lakh rupees and you have taken an insurance cover, so you get into an agreement with the insurance company that the maximum amount of policy or the maximum amount of compensation to be claimed will be 60%. For example, that is 60% of 5 lakh would be 3 lakhs rupees. So the if case of losses, if the loss occurred during voyage is of 2 lakhs, then it's fine, your policy is covered properly, you have maximum limit of 3 lakhs, the insurance company will give you 2 lakh rupees compensation. But in case of loss, if entire amount is drowned in the sea, you get zero amount of goods, then your loss is 5 lakh rupees. But what is the maximum amount of policy? 3 lakh rupees. So the insurance company will pay you only 3 lakh rupees. Understood? Here various things are mentioned in the policy specifically, that is the nature of goods, whether it is perishable or not, then specific route, like what is the sea route that the ship will be following, then places of voyage, which country the ship will be stopping. All these things should be mentioned in the blanket policy. It covers multiple risks on one property, or it covers many properties under the policy. It is also suitable for the companies which have several shipments. Okay, floating policy is one such policy again, which have several shipments. Like if I have 2-3 ships carrying goods, then I'll have to take separate policy for each ship. So I'll take a blanket policy for all of them. Okay. Port risk policy. Port risk policy covers all types of risk or of a vessel while it is anchored at the port for a particular period of time. This policy is applicable till the departure of the vessel from the port. What is more specifically mentioned here? Port risk policy. When the ship is on the dockyard, when the ship is on the port, the moment the ship leaves the port, the policy ends. Okay, voyage policy during the voyage, during the journey. Port policy once the ship reaches the dockyard. Once the ship reaches the port, port policy starts. So why is port policy required, you will say? Because under marine or underwater transportation, ships are anchored on the port for days and months. There are large ships which are carrying bulky thousands of tons of goods, and it takes days to unload the ship. It takes days to load the ships. Like for example, you are one shipper, you are one exporter, you are going to the port, Mumbai port, and you are delivering your products, and you are saying that today is 1st January, I am loading my goods on the ship. Fine, you are one shipper. There are thousands of other exporters who are going to export their goods, so everybody will take time to come and load their products. So what was the date when you shipped your goods? 1st of January, but the ship left the port on 4th of March. January, February, March, 3 months happened, right? After 3 months the ship left the port. Why? Because it was a very big cargo ship and it had 1000 tons of goods loaded on it, and it took time for loading that product. So during this 3 months, your ship was anchored on the port and your goods were on the port. If there is an occurrence of fire on the ship, if there is an occurrence of theft on the ship, and any other uncertainty, and your products are damaged, you have your product insured under the port risk policy. You will get your compensation even before the journey starts, even before the transportation of goods starts. Once you have loaded the goods on the port, on the ship, and it is anchored on the port, and you have taken port risk policy, you will get it compensated. Understood? Similar will be the case when the ship reaches New York. It will take 1 or 2 months to unload the product, okay, and your the person receiving may also come on time and receive it. If that person takes certain time to come and pay the duties and receive the product, and there is certain uncertainty, your goods will be secured under port risk policy. Okay, got it? Composite policy. This type of policy is purchased from more than one insurer. The liability of each insurer is separate and distinct. This policy is taken when the amount of insurance is very high. Yes, we all know that insurance companies are also organizations or business enterprises which also have certain risks. They are covering your risk, but they are also at risk. Like for example, there may be 10 people taking insurance. Out of those 10 people, 5 people may not require compensation, but there are 5 other people who may require compensation, and the insurance company have to pay them compensation. So the insurance company are also at risk, so they take insurance policy according to their current status, according to their current situation, whether they are capable of handling that risk or not. So as we all know that thousands of tons are loaded in marine, so we also know that the amount of risk or the amount of policy may be very high. There are certain business enterprises which loads 10 lakhs or crores of rupees of products or goods in one shipment. So they take insurance policy. If they are going to take insurance policy from one insurance company and the occurrence of loss happens, then that insurance company won't be able to do the compensation. So in case of such shipment where the amount of the goods is very high or the goods insured is very high, then the insurance company suggests the person to take insurance from more than one company. For example, if my shipment is of 10 lakh rupees, I will take one insurance company from company A for 5 lakh rupees. I'll take another insurance company from company B for 3 lakh rupees, and I'll take another insurance policy from company C for 2 lakh rupees. I have taken 3 policy from 3 different companies for 3 different amounts. So in case if the loss happens, all these 3 companies compositely will pay me my compensation according to their ratio. What is the ratio? 5, 3, 2. So if I have a loss of say 6 lakhs rupees, so it will be divided in the ratio 5, 3 and 2. That will be 3 lakhs 2 lakhs and 1 lakhs. So it won't be difficult for the insurance companies to pay the compensation also, and we are also getting our compensation back. Do you understand? The eighth type of marine insurance policy is single vessel policy. This policy is suitable for small ship owner having only one ship or having one ship in different fleets. It covers the risk of one vessel of the insured. Okay, so if there is a ship owner which have only one ship, so they do not need to take composite policy or any other policy, so they will take single vessel policy, where only that single ship or that single vessel will be insured. Like for example, if I am a shipping company, I have various ships, and then I am I have various ships, but they are going on different routes. For example, I have 3 ships. One is going from Mumbai to New York, another one is going from Mumbai to Japan, then third one is going from Mumbai to Canada, Australia, for example. So I have 3 different ships. I am taking an insurance policy for only one ship that is going from Mumbai to Australia. Okay, and my ships have been overseas now, they are left. If there is uncertainty and one ship which is going from Mumbai to Japan is destroyed by storm, will I be able to take compensation from the insurance company? No, because I have not taken insurance for all 3 of my ships. I have taken insurance for only one ship that is going from Mumbai to Australia. So only in case of uncertainty occurred with the ship going from Mumbai to Australia, I will be receiving compensation. Then last policy that we are going to study is fleet policy and block policy. In fleet policy, several ships belonging to one owner are insured under the same policy. Like I just said you the example, 3 ships, Mumbai to USA, Mumbai to Australia, Mumbai to Japan, but I only covered one ship under single policy. Now under fleet policy, I am taking a common policy for all these 3 ships. That I am a shipping company, I have 3 ships in the sea. Whichever ship occurs loss or uncertainty, I will be compensated. So if I am taking fleet policy, if any one of my 3 ships occurs loss, I will get compensation. The insurance company cannot come and say, no, you have taken fleet policy, but the first ship to go was from Mumbai to Australia and that ship does not had any loss, so we are not going to compensate you. No, the insurance company have to compensate me if any one of these 3 ships occurs loss, because I have taken fleet policy. Okay, what is block policy? In block policy, the cargo owner is protected against the damage or loss of the cargo in all modes of transport through which her cargo is carried, that is covering all the risk of rail, road and sea transport. Okay, this is one very different and new type of policy which has been mentioned in the textbook, that is block policy. Here the cargo is insured, whether it is under the sea, whether it is at the port, whether it is transported through railway or roadways. Like I'll give you an example. If I am taking a block policy for transporting my good from Mumbai to New York, so the moment the goods have left my warehouse to the moment it reaches the client's warehouse, my entire goods are secured. Whether the goods are on the Mumbai port, it will be secured. If the goods are under the voyage, it will be secured. If the goods are on New York port, it will be secured. Also, even after the goods have left New York port to reach my client's warehouse through roadways or railways, if there is an uncertainty, at that time also the good will be secured. So block policy is an coverage of the entire cargo risk from the point of delivery to the point of destination, from the moment the ship goods leave your warehouse to the moment it reaches the client's warehouse. That's it. These were the various types of marine insurance policy that we have studied in today's lecture. Thank you.